97 years, that's what I've got behind me. You want the secret? There isn't one. Just a list of things I finally quit. My name's Walter. I buried both brothers, my son, 2 wives, and damn near every man I ever ran a lathe beside. You stand at enough graves, you start noticing. It's never the years that get you, it's what you won't set down. So here's 7 things I stopped doing. You might want to listen. Pride's a slow poison, and I can smell it on you from here. The first thing I had to lay down, and this was a heavy one, was the lie that I didn't need anybody. For 70 years, I thought needing help meant you were cracked. Leaky roof, I was the roofer. Clogged drain, I was the plumber. Woke up feeling like the world had gone gray. That got suffered in the workshop, alone with the radio low. My old man dropped dead at 65, chest pain, wouldn't see a doctor, wouldn't give the devil the satisfaction. I wore that same stubbornness like a goddamn medal. Then about 20 years back, I slipped on a patch of oil in the garage. Laid there on the cold concrete, furious, trying to will myself up. An hour. Finally had to call my neighbor. He was at my door in 2 minutes. Didn't say a word, just grabbed my arm. That was the crack. Now I asked for help with the groceries. I let my grandson wrestle the TV remote without pretending I know what I'm doing. I told my doctor about the sadness after Ruth passed. Asking don't make you weak, it makes you smart. A man tries to hold the whole house up alone. Eventually the house wins. Once I stopped trying to be a one-man army, I had to look at how I spent my days. I'd spent 43 years at Bethlehem Steel, down in Lackawanna. Lathe operator, coolant and cutting oil. That smell still stops me cold sometimes. I was good at it, provided, but I carved my own headstone with that punch card. Overtime was a point of pride. Vacation was for men who didn't care enough. I missed my boy's first home run. The shift ran long. I missed 1,000 quiet dinners because I was too wrung out to string 2 words together. I thought the work was the point, the pension, the title. Then I retired and the silence damn near flattened me. Didn't know who I was without that lathe whining. So I quit. Not working, I still tinker, but I quit letting it run me. Now I work in the garden. I build birdhouses out of scrap cedar and leave them on neighbors' porches. I keep my hands busy, keep my mind curious. That's enough. A man isn't his job. A man is what he does with the quiet after the whistle blows. But it wasn't just the work that was eating me. It was what I was keeping inside. I didn't start swinging, Lord no, but I did what men do. I swallowed my anger. I didn't start swinging, Lord no. For most of my life, I did what men do, swallowed it. Boss chewed me out for something that wasn't my fault, swallowed it. A friend I'd known 30 years passed along something I told him in confidence, swallowed it. My first wife, Margaret, God rest her, made choices that cut deep, swallowed that too. Thought it was a strength, stoicism. It was a pressure cooker, came out as ulcers. Came out as blind, stupid rage over a misplaced hammer. came out as a coldness that made my family stop reaching out. Actually, that's a lie. I still get mad. Neighbor's dog keeps digging up my hydrangeas. Makes me see red every time. But I don't let it live in me anymore. I learned to say that doesn't work for me. I learned to walk away from a phone call that's going nowhere. I learned to say I'm too hot to talk about this right now, but we will talk about it. Setting a boundary isn't starting a war. It's handing someone a map. Swallowed anger eats you from the inside. A little honest friction beats slow rot every time. And while I was busy stewing over the past, I was always squinting at the future. We're taught to always look for the next wrong, the next car, the greener lawn. I spent years chasing a horizon that never stopped moving. You never arrive. You just get older and more tired. I spent years measuring myself against other men, anxious about my standing, always feeling 2 steps behind. Then one afternoon I was sitting right here on this bench, this exact one, warped boards and all. And I watched a blue jay fight his own reflection in my truck's hubcap, pecking, flapping, exhausting himself against a ghost. Saw myself clear as day. I quit chasing the life I thought I was supposed to have. Started tending the one right in front of me. I fixed the porch step for Ruth because she liked to sit out there with her tea, not because it added equity. I called an old buddy just to hear him rasp about his tomatoes, not to network. The horizon's a trick. Peace is where your feet are. That's the thing about chasing a ghost. You end up alone. And men, we're the loneliest creatures on God's earth. After Margaret died, the silence in this house was so thick you could run your finger through it. I thought that hollow ache was just my sentence now, so I drowned it. TV from sun up to sundown, pointless errands, busy work that didn't need doing, didn't work. So I quit running, started sitting with it, coffee on the porch before dawn, just listening to the birds tune up, walks with no destination, learned the difference. Loneliness is a severed connection. Solitude is choosing to sit with yourself. Now I guard my quiet hours. They're not empty, they're full. A man who can't sit alone with himself is just running from a ghost he'll never outpace. I filled that quiet with the sound of my own voice. I used to talk for sport. I'd hold court and give advice you didn't ask for, just waiting for my turn to jump back in with my own tale. Thought it made me interesting. Just made me laugh. I missed so much. Missed the fear in my son's voice when he talked about his marriage. Missed the quiet pride in Ben's voice when he mentioned his daughter becoming a doctor. Real listening where you aren't just reloading, that's respect, that's love. When I finally shut my mouth and opened my ears, the world got deeper. People started trusting me with the soft parts. A man who listens learns. A man who only hears himself lives in a closet. But the thing that haunts me most, the one I finally had to quit, was postponing the tender things. We aren't taught to be tender. We're taught to be vaults. And I let the most valuable things rust shut. Ben went down sudden, stroke. We'd fished together for 50 years. Lake Erie, usually off the pier at Sunset Bay. The last time I saw him, I clapped his shoulder and said, "See you next week." Should have said 100 other things. I still carry that, so I quit. I tell my family I love them. I told my grandson last week, his laugh is my favorite sound. I hug the old men when I see them. Good, solid, back-slapping hugs that say, "I see you, brother, we're still here." Tenderness isn't weakness. It's the last, bravest strength. It's the mortar when the hard winds blow. Don't wait. The things you leave unsaid will echo in your silence forever. So there it is, 7 surrenders. Not a list of things to pick up, a list of things to lay down. Quit the pride that walls you off. Quit the work that eats you alive. Quit swallowing poison. Quit chasing the mirage. Quit fearing the quiet. Quit the sound of your own voice. And for God's sake, quit holding your heart at arm's length. You got a choice. You can carry it all until your spine bends and your spirit breaks. Or you can set it down piece by piece, right here on this bench beside me. The sun's warm, breeze is easy. Still a lot of living left to do if you've got the sense to lay your burdens down and let yourself do it.